Yes. Good morning, happy morning, Jama.
Rina ma'am, are you able to hear our voice?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Very clear. Okay. So
we have around 40 attendees as of now. We'll wait for a few more seconds. So the total strength is around 65 to 70. So we'll give them maybe a couple of seconds to join. The number is not increasing. It has gone down, so we have only 39 now. What do you suggest, sir? Should we wait for a few more minutes?
we'll start it off. We need to respect people who have joined. And then later they can join. Yeah. It's a very short 1 hour. Yes.
Okay.
Over to you, sir. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, once again. I welcome you all once again to the 5-day Administrative Staff Development Program, Lead to Learn 2022. This is our third day. Today we have Dr. Reena Das, General Manager HR and IR from Badra International India Limited, Chennai. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invitation and gracing this event with your presence. We are delighted to have you here.
Thanks, Jama.
Dr. Reena will be taking a session on team building, collaborative learning and communication. So I hope we have a great learning from this session. And my dear friends and colleagues, I welcome you to this program. We hope that we'll have a great learning and have fun as well. May I call upon now Dr. Divya Meena to introduce the speaker to the audience. Thank you all.
Okay, a very good morning to one and all present here. So it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Dr. Reena Das, who's going to talk to us about team building, collaborative learning, and communication. So Dr. Reena Das is a HR professional having over 22 years of experience in spreading entire functions of the employee life cycle, starting from manpower planning and talent acquisition, talent development, HR consulting assessment, training and HR operations. Apart from this, she is also specialized in industrial relationships by maintaining a cordial relation with union and statutory and government bodies like Labour Office. Dr. Reena Das started her career in 1998 as a director in the College of Business Administration, Berhampur. In 2001, she was a training and placement officer in Gandhi Institute of Engineering and Technology. She has also worked in Gunupur Randstad India Limited, Chennai, and TVS Training and Services, Chennai, as a General Manager, BFSI Operation. Currently, Dr. Reena Das is working as a General Manager, HR and IR at Badra International India Private Limited, Chennai. Some of the core competencies of Dr. Reena Das include HR policy formulation, robust HR systems and process setup, talent acquisition, compensation and benefits, performance management, process improvement, cost reduction, attrition analysis, retention management, exit formalities, talent development, training needs identification, union and labor negotiation, talent retention, and employee relations. We are really grateful to have you today for as a speaker, ma'am. Really looking forward for a wonderful session with you.
Thank
Over
you
to
very
you,
much
ma'am.
for a wonderful introduction. Thanks, Atan. Appreciate.
Yeah.
So, should I start or how is it?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, you can take over.
We have
Okay.
43 people now. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you very much. First, Dr. Samuel Johnson, who is fondly called as Sam, for giving this opportunity to connect back with my VIT colleagues well, VIT is very close to us in terms of my relationship with Vellore Institute here, Vellore University goes long back, 15, 16 years now, wherein I have visited your Vellore campus, Chennai campus when Sam was there, and now virtually Andhra campus through Samuel again. So thank you very much, Sam. Well, just to give you a just background, Sam and I have worked together earlier, way back in Marfa, Randstad, where Sam joined us as a trainee. And I am so happy to see his growth, professional growth, from a trainee and now working with a reputed organization, VIT, heading a lot of initiatives which has been taken by VIT and keeping the flag high. So that makes me feel proud of our association. Thanks, Sam. I'm very happy to note that.
you.
Yeah. When he gave me this topic, I was a little angry, I must say, on Sam. Arey yaar, team building and communication, these are two topics that you gave me, and that too on a virtual platform, and you're going to really test my skills now. So I was like literally breaking my head because you have 1 hour session, and in 1 hour the topics are like very difficult. I mean, it sounds very easy, but it's very difficult in terms of implementing at the happening stage, because when you are there on the floor, when you are interacting with the participants, you know their feelings, you know their expression, you know what is happening and how actually they literally bond, and then you can actually correlate to many things that can happen on the floor. But then when it comes on a virtual, there are challenges. I mean, you all being in the educational industry know it better than anyone else. Well, my career as Madam introduced, started with educational institution. I was handling academics and administrative functions. So I understand the challenges that each of us actually go through when it handling the administrative function. So when it is comes to administrative in a college, academics, the lecturers, the teachers, the trainers, the professors, these are all people those who get little more limelight, a lot of more importance because of the core responsibility that they handle, and they have to deliver, being there as the product itself for is for delivering the classes and all that. So that's where most of the priority goes to the teaching staff when it comes to an educational institution, where you give so much of importance to the teaching staff, and then for some reason or other the non-teaching staff are always been taken a backseat. So whereas it is very important, when I have worked in a college, when I have worked in different educational sectors, I understood that a teaching staff can go and deliver the class well only when there is a non-teaching staff supporting them in terms of ensuring that all the support functions are in place, and they have been given all the tools and techniques and whatever is required in terms of getting things in place. Now I understand from the from Sam that they are participants from the administrative department, from people those who are handling hostel, people those who are handling the transport or the buildings and all of this. So there are quite a lot of challenge when it happens to in terms of handling that, because in an education system you see only the professors, yeah, they have to teach, they have to do online classes, but what makes them to do well is because of the support staff. And I must thank VIT and all the stakeholders, those who have put together this beautiful concept of delivering a program for the non teaching staff, the support functions, which are the important pillars. Every time when I get into such a training program and it is done for the support staff, I feel good because I come from a support function. I am from HR. So every time it happens that the HR has been taken a back seat, or a finance is taken a back seat, or a purchase department is taken a back seat, or there's some function to do the support function. इसमें नया क्या है? I mean, is it okay if I speak little bit Hindi here and there?
Yeah. No problem.
Okay, thank you. So that is when we always take the back seat. But then, if you remember what Mr. Naran Murthy has been telling, my people are assets, and these people are have to be coming here and going back safe. And to make that happen, the administrative functions plays a very important and a crucial role, and that is where each one of you, I must salute for the contribution that you have given to the organization, and going forward, the contribution that you will definitely give for the organization. So before we do start our formal session, I have a small questionnaire. Maybe we can do it as a poll so that I understand in terms of the different dynamics that works in your organization. Is that fine, Sam?
Sure. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Okay, just give me a second. Share, copy the link. So for the benefit of participants, I have put it in the chat. Also, Abdur Rahman sir, I'm putting it in the staff thing. You can even take it. If there's a WhatsApp group among the staff, you can put it there. So ma'am, I'm sharing the screen. Tell me whether you to see it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Is it on the screen? Is it on the screen, ma'am?
Yeah. How much percentage of your working time you spend working with the team? That's right.
Yeah. The link is given in the MS Team chat.
Okay, okay.
The Rahman sir can even put it in the, if there's a WhatsApp group.
Yes, I have shared in the WhatsApp group as well.
Good. So people go to the
the
link.
phone as well.
I think members have started putting their responses. Some has said 50%, some has said 75%. It is wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So the Mentimeter is capturing it live. It's good. Good, Sam.
You'll get the percentage also.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, we'll wait few seconds. 9, 10.
Come on, friends, we have 50 numbers. We need more response. Only 16 have responded so far.
Okay, we've pressed 20. Good.
Once it is done, maybe you can capture it as a screenshot, Sam.
Yes, yes. I'll put it in the chat and WhatsApp. Yes.
Yeah.
Sam, could we ask the participants to switch on the camera?
Yes, yes, they're most welcome.
Yes.
If they have a front end, because
Yes.
most of the systems, when they are sitting on a desktop, they don't have a front end camera. But if they're having mobile and like
Yes.
senior PRO sir is
As a PRO is there, senior PRO. Please switch on the camera if you have.
Sir, it has touched 27.
Good to see all the faces and have interactive sessions.
I think it's wonderful. The response is wonderful and also close to what I was expecting. I think we can move on. Just capture the screen. Let the screen be there. Well, I just wanted to know in terms of how much percentage of your working time you spend working with the team. And as I was expecting, many of them say 50% to 75% to 100%, which is exactly the same. Because as per a survey also, a survey which has happened by Gallup, they say that 90% of our time people spend, 90% of the people, those who work in different organizations say that maybe 1/3 to 1/2 of the time, which is like 50 to 75% is what is mentioned of each working day we spend working with the team. So I think that way now I feel a little better when he said that, yeah, team building and team building and communication. Why this topic? Because when we spend 75% to 90% of our time working with the teams, it is very important for us to know, like, how do we actually get our things done. It is not that everything that we do it ourselves. We need to take help of each other when we work in an organization and ensure that we achieve organizational goal and objective. And to do this, and to make this happen, it is very important that there are two components. One is you yourself as an individual who are working as in an organization. You could be an individual contributor or a team player, but then it is important that to be aware of what you are doing it. Aware for what? Aware for your own self. That the self awareness is very important. Like, how do I work in the team? And if I'm working with the team, am I having enough and more of empathy when I'm working with others? These are very much important as an awareness if we have with us. These are very basic, and I know each one of you have got put in a lot of efforts and also a lot of experience that you bring into the table. But I feel these are very important aspects which I feel I should share with you. And number two is, when we work with the team, what is most important for working with the team is, do you have the skills and ability to work with the team? And for working with the team, we cannot be showing our own tantrums, right? We have to have a self control on ourselves, self control on what we say, how to behave. These are basic, very basic, but it is very important when we work in the a team and have a self control so that we can influence people positively. And this is all done because we need to collaborate and work together. Collaboration is becoming one of the most sorted competency. When I am working as an HR, I would look for any of the resources who is having this collaborative mindset as a growth mindset, who can work with the organization and also take the organization forward. So when we have these two very important topics, team building and communication skill, I do not want to talk about these topics separately because they are very intertwined and are dependent on each other so much that without each other it does not work. Correct. So going forward, I just want to know a little more, Sam. How many team members they must be handling our team? How many team members this set of participants are handling?
There we go on the screen. It's changing. 2 people said less than 2. There are some small teams, there are some big teams. For example, estates, infrastructure, maintenance is a big team. So, and as you know, we started in 2017, July.
Yeah.
It's ever growing, and then So as of now, 12 people, 13 people have answered.
That is fine. So each one of us agree to the fact that we work with teams, whether it is a 1-member team or a 2-member team or a 10-member team or a 15-member team. But the concept is we work with the team. So working with the team, it is very important that what I want to draw from this is, when you work with the team, it is not just you come, assign the work, hey, go and do this job. It does not work that. I mean, for my whole life, and now I have worked for 23 years now, and every time I has worked with the team, and each team is very different, very dynamic, and very unique to handle with. So it has to be like, how do you handle the team is very important, because when we have to work with the team, we need to respect each other. If you give respect to them, you get respect. We say that, yes, I know it all, I am the boss, I have this attitude, and my department is the best department, and whatever is dependent on my department only, other department people cannot do my job. This does not happen, because when we work in an organization, it is not just the team that we handle, it is also depending on the other departments also. So it is very important in terms of understanding the team. So to understand the team, I have few thoughts that I thought I should share it with you. Like, how do you go about understanding it? Then you should have basic capability of start with an heart of an empathy and an intention to listen to people. In communication, always a two-way communication, but what happens is we try talking so much that we miss out on the listening part. Are you an active listener? Are you giving your heart and mind and soul when you are talking to someone and listening to them? And if you're listening to that person, also ensure that when you work in a team, you need to stay in a dialogue. Sometimes what happens is, when we work in the team, we don't like the face of the person, we do not like the attitude of the person, we do not like so many XYZ of the person, and we tend to switch off. When we tend to switch off, then the relationship cuts, the team bonding cuts. So that is where it is important for each one of us to stay in dialogue, stay in relationship, stay in touch with our members, so that we understand each other by listening to each other, and we empathize in terms of what they are telling, with a positive intent of mind that yes, it is important for us to work for the organization. We are not coming to work for anything else. We are coming to work in any organization because we need a job. Correct. To get the job done, it is not as an individual that you'll be able to do the job. It is as a team you'll be able to do the job. It is as a group that you will be able to do the job, so that you can achieve the organizational goal and objective. And it is very important in that case. Without that, it does not work. So to keep it safe for your own self, for you to perform your task, to become a performer, it is important that you be part of a team, respect the team, understand the team, and don't get hooked by the emotions. Like today, did not like. I might come and somebody would have given me a very strong feedback. Madam, you're not supposed to do this. So if I say that, yeah, if I get hooked to the particular incident, that how can he tell me, I am the general manager of the company, and somebody comes and tells me that, madam, you're not supposed to do it. Then if I'm not able to take that feedback on the face value and get hooked to that, he's told me like this, so I will see to it that he gets his own this thing. So these are very, very incidences of where people try and take it to their ego. And that is where the team bonding gets affected. I remember of one example where I think it was Charlie Chaplin was talking to Albert Einstein. Okay, they were in a conversation, and Albert Einstein asked Charlie Chaplin, "You are always silent. You don't talk in a movie, but how come your movies are super hit?" Okay, then Charlie Chaplin says, Albert Einstein, because my expressions talks it all. So I don't have to talk it in the language. So that's where the communication comes in, plays an important role. So in the other side, on a joking mood, Charlie Chaplin asked, "You have been given so many of these inventions and all that, but why do people still say that every action has an equal and opposite reaction?" So that's when Albert Einstein said that is where the connect happens. If there is a communication, if there is a team, there is a bonding, only then there will be have an equal and opposite reaction. So these are just certain small little jokes I could share it, where these are all bounded by their own ethos, own ethos and egos both. Ethos is like they are built in their own strengths and capabilities. Egos is when they say that yes, this is because of me, this has happened, and that's where you can clearly relate to the example that I just said about the Charlie Chaplin and the Albert Einstein. So these are things that we need to look at and see what is the mutual purpose for us to work. When we work as a team, we have a common objective and a common goal and a common uh, uh, objective to attain to, or an outcome to attain to. So are we all working together for that particular goal? Because what happens is teamwork will make the dream work well, and it will be able to achieve a vision. But it will become a nightmare if when the leader has a good dream and a big dream, but a very bad team. If there is a bad team, whatever vision the leader has got for an organization or an institution, it will go to the drains. So if the team is not in sync, if the team is not working together, then everything else will actually fall apart. So it's very important that every team starts with a vision and work together. And that all starts with basic thing is empathy. Understand and respect each other, have a dialogue, talk to each other, and try and see that you give respect and take respect. Unless and until you give and take respect, it does not work. And team bonding is not like we'll do it today. It happens over a period of time, where you give respect to the people and try and see that the collaborative work spirit is been developed inside the organization, then it slowly starts happening. And these all can happen when you actually start and see how you behave at work. What happens is normally when we are working, we try and see that, yes, I have to tell this, I have to deliver this, and I will do it. But we do not think about why that we have to tell this. And when we talk to somebody, we do not also keep ourselves in their shoes and say that, think about why the person is behaving or telling in this way. Are you are you able to understand what he's telling, or it is just like that? So these are certain things that I thought, when we have different teams to work, understanding the team at different aspects, and also responding back to them in terms of not just talking what you want to talk, but also listening to what the person is telling, and the intent of telling what, why he's telling certain things, is very important. So and that's because we handle teams and we have different type of people that we work with. We do not have a choice when we come to work in terms of who is going to be our boss. I mean, if X is our boss, we don't have a choice, because we have to come and work, and we come and work because we need that salary to paycheck to take back home. So when we know that we do not have a choice to, then you'll have to get and mend yourself, try and see that you find a environment, you create an environment where you have the maximum, when you are spending the maximum time. Like the first poll that we got to know, maximum people said around 50 to 50% of the people say that they spend 75% of their time, right? And some people say they spend 90% of the time. And this is all because we spend maximum time of our life at work than at home. We go home to go have a good food, good sleep, and spend maybe little time at with the family. But maximum time it happens that we all spend time at the workplace, and that's where it becomes very important that we need to spend good time with our team and also understand each other's challenges, support each other. How can you be a good team player? Only when you come forward and support. I always look up to Sam when there is a program or anything that I develop, I have to deliver. I said, he's my go-to person. We worked some 15 years back, 17 years back that I know Sam. But then if there is something, I remember last that I spoke to you on green HRM.
Yeah.
So if there is a topic or anything, anyone comes and talks to me that, yes, I need to deliver a certain topic. So I look for my go-to person. Are you that go-to person to whom you can go and ask to? You have to become one, only then people will come to you. And in an organization, when we have to work together, we need to find out a way where you are trying to be helpful to other. We try and gel well with people where we have commonalities. I am from Andhra, you are from Andhra, we gel well. Or I am from Odisha, you are from Odisha, we gel well. Correct. So these are commonalities that we look at. But our commonalities, the first and foremost commonalities that we should look for is we are working for VIT. That is the first common thing that we look for, right? And VIT has given us the job, and VIT has given us the role, respect, the designation, the position, the recognition in the society. And if we have to deliver that, we cannot do it alone. We have come alone. But while going, we need 4 people. Correct. Yeah. So when we are there at work, we cannot work alone. We have to work with the people. Only then the job can be done. And that is where the team bonding and the collaborative work culture has to develop, so that we all are working for a common goal and purpose. There are a lot of interdepartmental issues that happens. I mean, I'm not touching upon that in detail, but there are a lot of interdepartmental issues that dependency is there. Maybe our next question is on that, right? How many teams are interdependent? Can you just put the question
on the screen?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. All right. So people can go to the chat, click that link. Already 7 people have answered, ma'am.
Okay. Can you just read it out for me?
Yes.
Because there's a status bar, menu bar. I don't want to touch it. If I touch it, maybe it will.
How many teams interdepartmental you dependent on?
Just
choices are 1, 2, 3, 3 to 5, more than 5. 1 is 2 as of now. 2 is 2.
Oh, percentage has come. That's wonderful. This is good. Yeah. This is good, Sam. So around 58% say what?
55%.
55% say, what do they say?
Interdependent on other departments.
So more than 50% of the people say that yes, they are dependent on other departments, right?
More than five. Some 27% says I'm depending on 2 other departments for my work.
Okay.
4% says I'm depending at least 3 to 5 departments. So as and when the numbers are increasing, the numbers are changing. Yeah.
What is this 48% or 50% people say?
50% people say that they are more dependent with more than at least 5 more interdepartment dependency.
Correct. So they say it, right? I mean, what do I say extra? It is you who are giving me the answer saying that yes, you are so dependent on others. So to be dependent on others, it is very important that we need to find out ways and means of handling it. Dependency means that how well you are able to manage your team, and that's where I feel one of the very important skill that comes into play is your assertiveness. There are certain area where we feel that yes, we need to communicate, but we need to be also assertive in what we are communicating. And when it comes to interdepartmental challenges, I have seen that if you are being assertive in what you are presenting yourself, you might be liked or you might not be liked. So there becomes a very fine line of differentiation between an assertiveness and aggressiveness. So being aggressive, it becomes more difficult. It becomes more difficult to succeed in any working environment for that matter. So you need to have that extra intelligence, extra hard work, and even some unspoken resistance will come because you have been so aggressive, so I'll not allow you to get these things done because your job will only be done. You are dependent on my department or you are dependent on me. So I can only get things done for you if you are being very soft spoken to me or you have been very nice goody to me. So here in many organizations it is said that you it is not advisable to be aggressive, but we at the same time we have to get things done. So assertive people are most likely to be successful than being passive people. So here to be an assertive people, it is a very vital quality to success is assertiveness and the ability to stand up for yourself while remaining calm and while respecting the right of yours and others is also very important. So being assertive, it starts with your self-esteem, continues with your right and ends with your accepting responsibility and control. So you are dependent on other team and at the same time you has to be also liked by others. If you're not been liked by others, then you will not be able to deliver what you want. So these are things that I thought it's very important in terms of building relationship also, and this is also a very key to success because people who are not good with people are very rarely successful. So when you want to be getting things done, it is important to be assertive, but then it is not important to be very aggressive because that will also create a situation where you might lose out on the way you want to tell. So it will lose out in terms of building a strong working relationship as the key for any success. So relationship have to be always effective, and that is where you have to be first making friends than enemy. Never make an enemy, because if you're working in any organization and you have an enemy, then it will not help you achieve what you want to achieve. So it has to be like you have to ensure that you be a great listener, give compliment and offer help to others, and go that extra mile to help others so that it can pay you back as a good performer. So consider taking this as an input, because this is what I have experienced when I have been working with different people at different stages, whether it is hierarchy wise, maybe at the top management or at a lower management level. But it definitely works in terms of when you give respect to the people and you are aware of what you are, and also try and give compliment to people when they are. And the compliment is not just giving compliment like that, it also has to be giving genuine compliment to people so that they people like to listen good things, right? So if you start giving a good compliment, it also helps in bonding, getting a better bonding, and it also helps you in terms of bringing the best in you so that you feel good being part of the place or the workplace. Sam, are you there?
Yeah. Can I just go to the next screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
Next
are you
one.
dependent?
Last
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a second. Yeah. Yeah. So shall I read it out?
Yeah.
Who are you dependent on? Which departments are you more dependent? Please mention. Like they can type their department name. And are you able to see it, Rina ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, I am able to see it.
Okay. So as and when they start typing, you would get the answers. Ma'am, they say maintenance, PR, purchase, accounts, and other schools. One person has answered. Purchase and stores is the second answer. I think everybody will say purchase.
Highly dependent.
सामान उधर से आता है ना बेचारा. I will mostly depend on my reporting authority, senior PRO, and okay, Rina ma'am, 360 means these are the people who does entire cleaning, maintenance.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So just if you can just.
Other one is purchase, maintenance, CTS, SDC. SDC is the software development center for us.
Okay.
They do programming and student welfare, maintenance department, purchase, SDC, HR, estate, purchase. So if you do a text analytics,
I'm surprised HR and CTS is not mentioned there in the list.
Yeah. Abdul sir, can you please give a little inference from this? Madam Ko?
Sir?
Could you read and tell ma'am which are the major?
Yeah, major is purchase, HR, CTS. This is technical support from our IT and network. Maintenance is there, yeah, housekeeping, security.
Okay, got it.
Almost all departments are there. Yeah. So
okay. Sam, would our participants be able to speak, unmute and talk if I ask any question?
They can unmute themselves. Shall I stop this screen now and you want to go for a live discussion?
Yeah, I think when we are touching base more on the communication part, it has to be communicative, right? It cannot be one way.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I thought, yeah.
I'm stopping the screen share now. Okay, now people can switch on their videos and cams and talk, and they have that option.
Okay, okay. Because I'm trying to do justice between the two topics that you've given me, Sam. I think I have touched based on the team bonding aspects, wherein I have spoken about to have a good team bonding. It is important to be self-aware and also have self-control. At the same time, it is very important to have empathy and collaboration to ensure that team bonding is done. And to have that, it is very important for you to be more of emotionally intelligent person than to be an high on the IQ person, because we connect with each other based on the emotions that we bring into the table on a day in a day out. And it is also a very important for us to be assertive and not aggressive at work. And being assertive is not being I'm standing for the right thing, and we should be able to communicate on what you want to do, because the team building depends on the trust. Trust is very important in terms of when we work with an organization, and at the same time it also helps in mitigating the conflicts that is there, encourage and communicate and increase the collaboration. So I mean, that's what I wanted to sum up on the team bonding part and then move on to the communication. So when we starting on the topic on the communication, I think it's important for me to understand what our participants think about what do they mean or understand by effective communication. Can some of them speak out?
Yeah, they can unmute. Sai Kiran sir is already unmuted there. They can.
Yeah. The effective communication means the information should reach to the other person. It should be understandable for him, not what you understood. It should also understandable for the other end person who gives to do the job. What is needed for you, they have to do that respective job. He has to understand what is needed. So accordingly, we should not only communication, we should make it understandable to the end user. The other end who is doing the task, it has to be understandable to him.
Absolutely right, sir. Mr. Sai Kiran, right? Sir, you are from which department?
I am from finance and accounts.
Okay, well said. Well said. Thank you. Any other people who would like to, participants who would like to speak?
It should be clear and simple.
Yeah, we had learned from the previous session that active listening is also part of very good communication.
Active listening is important, right? I completely agree with you. Any other? I remind of a joke. If allowed, I can speak on that.
Boliye, ma'am, boliye.
Yeah. See, effective communication is when you have been asked to go to hell. You feel that you are going to a very better place and follow the instructions and do it. That is effective communication for me. How's that, Sam?
True, I agree.
The way you say go to hell, but it is in a way it has been told that yes, you're going to get these things done, whatever is been told to you by whoever is giving you the instructions. That to me becomes an effective communication. Okay. Why I told you this? Because the communication is going to be effective only when you are able to convince, like what you have said rightly, in terms of your crucial conversation in a way that if there are opposing opinions coming in, if there are strong emotions coming in, if there are high stakeholders there, but still you are able to translate and tell what is expected out of you to tell and then to receive. Correct. So and yeah, and that's when we wanted to do this poll, because there are so many departments that you have got, and it is not just you work only with your team. You have to work with different departments, and communication becomes a very crucial, because it is important for you to influence. Why it is important? Because it is not like talking. We talk every day, right? We go to work, we come, we eat, we chat, we go to movie, a lot of things that we do. But why this communication is very important for us at work? It's not like one person is telling, other person is understanding. More than that, in today's environment, it is very important because we need to influence each other. If I have to get a bill passed, I have to talk to Sai Kiran sir. Sir, this bill was so important because this required some important things to be done, and the chairman of the organization has given a particular instruction that it has to be done. It is not my person. So you have to go and convince him. You have to go and influence him for your bill to be passed. Correct, Sai Kiran sir? So influencing becomes very important, which I feel when we work in organization, it is not like it's a two-way flow of information or a communication that we do, but we have to influence in terms of why we are telling this, why do we need it, understand the position, why we are doing it. That is very important, and what we are saying is also very important. Offer them a choice of events. Like if I go with the bill and if he does not clear the bill, then I have to tell him other reasons and the attributes for which this decision has happened, for which he has to do it. So there are certain events which we have to do it in terms of ensuring that for getting our conversation, getting our communication through, it is important that we also need to give them a different options or solutions for a particular problem so that they understand it. This is very important because you are not just communicating, you are also influencing each and every discussion or a meeting that you go for. You have to put together a point. You just put together a point, it does not work. You have to also tell why you're putting together this point and how are you going to get these things done. And this happens only when how you influence, and how you influence also is very dependent on your team bonding. Because if you are having a good bonding among the different departments, your things will get passed, or your things will get things done much better than anyone else. I'm sure many of you will agree to it. Correct? So it is important for all of us to actually communicate well when we can be a good listener. Unless and until we are listening to what other person is telling, then it is not going to go a long way. So it is very easy to get into any argument or a criticism. Hey, yaar, what you are giving this idea is not good. It is a shit piece of idea, and just keep it to your side. Pardon my language, but that happens in many meetings. But when you show the interest of why the person is talking, and also understand the intent, why he's presenting this idea as this particular idea of getting things done. You might have so many buildings, so many infrastructure which is coming up in VIT. Sometimes you will have one design and then you tend to change the design and you want to make something else. But there would be some intent for why you're doing it. And for communicating it, you have to influence your ideas or thought process. And if you're able to tell with a proper reason that yes, we are doing it for this particular reason, then it actually works out. And that is what I call is an art of good communication. Are you able to influence well? Are you able to tell whatever you want to tell in terms of making the other person understand? And that's where we try and build a winning team, where if you're telling something, the person is able to understand, and the other person will be able to understand if there is a trust in terms of within the teams. The communication becomes more effective if there is a trust already there in the team, if there is a freedom to express. If you are asking to come for a meeting and then the people are coming for a meeting and you do not have a freedom to express or play on your strengths, then you might not look up to the where you are not able to share your feelings. You have to be accepted, feel accepted that yes, my thought process is been accepted by my fellow colleagues, and I'm able to share my information and express myself. And for this, I feel there are good 5 rules, golden rules that are there, where you need to be a good listener. Unless and until you are a good listener, while listening, it does not work out well. Show that you want to listen and ask questions. If I am there talking to you and I am been just said, yeah, you go and talk, but in between, if you're not interacting with me, then I feel that, yeah, it's like I'm just coming and it's a one-way traffic. It is not showing much interest in terms of the participants also not. So these are things that where you have to also be part of the communication, is show your interest that you want to listen and also ask questions. While listening, if you are not able to understand, you should stop and ask for, yeah, these are my queries, can you please explain? So this is where you are showing an interest to listen. And at the same time, you also need to remove your distractions. For a good listening and a good understanding, it is always remove distractions by maybe as simple as nodding your head or showing interest. It is not like you are just listening to, you can also ask questions related to it, and also give a lot of empathy to the listener or to the speaker. Be empathize with the speaker who is speaking to you, and be patient by holding your own temper. It is not that the person is speaking and you are not, you can show your body language as if you're not listening and not interested in the conversation. Then it becomes very difficult, the communication goes haywire, and it has never been an effective communication. And whatever crucial conversation that you are going to have, it will be actually knocked down. So what I feel is 90% of the time, if we keep listening, being listened and learning from the conversation, it helps us to become a very active listening. And it also helps in a team will work with only if there is a good communication which is there. And for having a good communication, it is very important that we learn two important things. One is the art of praising and the gift of trust. The art of praising will happen only when you are able to trust each other. It is not just because I have to get things done something, I will go and fakely praise someone. That doesn't work. So art of praising is when you have to give genuine praise to the team when they are doing very good job. Within the team, if they are doing real good job, it is important that we give them a genuine feedback in terms of praising them that yes, they are doing well, and that would help them, motivate them to be work. And if it is motivating them to do good work, that will give a collaborative work spirit and also help the team to collaborate and do well. And at the same time, trust. If we are working on a team and we do not trust each other, we don't give freedom to each other to work, and we do not give them space also where they can learn from their mistakes or create their own success stories, it is very, very difficult for working in a team. So team, that's why team and the communication are very important tools for any organization to succeed. And to succeed, it is mutual trust that you need to have, respect that you need to have, and give respect and take respect is what we keep telling. So that will only have to have a better team building or a team bonding, and a good communication flow of information can happen in any department for that matter. So with that, I would pause it here and check is it making sense, or should we move on?
And Reena ma'am, you also have another 1 hour in the evening.
Okay, so we can sum up in the evening hours. Is that okay?
Yes, 4:30 to 5:30 we have one more.
So what I would do is maybe to sum up on what we have touched based on the team building and the communication, we can sum up along with your collaborative learning.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
There's one topic which you can touch upon lightly here. It's about overcoming the fear of communicating with the other individuals. People they feel some people they have fear in communicating. How can they overcome that fear?
Okay, well said. We'll do that. We'll do that. Is there any questions so far? Am I audible?
Yes.
Is there any questions so far?
You're not able to see the chat, right? Because you joined as a guest.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one question which is coming anonymously. I'll read it out for you. Please help. Yeah. Madam, you are saying mutual trust. I trust people in my team, but they don't trust me. Help me what to do.
Good one here. Good one. See, it is important in terms of like how you present yourself. I mean, see, trust can happen two ways. You have to also show that you are trusting, either in terms of telling them that you trust, or in terms of giving them the freedom to do something which they would have not done it on their own.
Okay.
See, at work, what happens is trust you can only demonstrate. One is, yeah, I can say 110 times that I trust you, but am I demonstrating my trustworthiness or trustfulness towards other is very important. So that you will have to make come across different incidences or situations where you have to show that yes, I can be a trustworthy person. If I feel that this person, I give him 100 rupees, out of that 80 rupees he will take and do something else. So that has happened because of some incident has happened before. That is where my trust on a certain person has gone down. But if I feel that this person, I give my card, my debit card or I'm just giving a personal example. I give my debit card or a credit card, and I am 100% sure that this person, not even 1 rupee will go out of it. So that means he has done certain act or certain incidences or certain evidences that I have got of that person, that I can trust him blindly. So for you to make sure that your team trusts you, you trust others, but you have to also give them some indications or some incidences where it is been proven that you are a trustworthy person. If that is not there, then it becomes very difficult for someone to trust you. They have to believe it, and they have to what you experience it to believe it. Trust happens when they experience you that you are a trustworthy person, and for that you have to demonstrate certain acts which they believe, and that's where they trust you. Hope I have answered your query.
Yeah, they've asked the question, they got the answer.
But why is it like anonymous?
Yeah, it's like,
That's
okay,
fine.
anybody can unmute yourself.
Any questions from the participants? You can post in the chat as well and take it. No questions for the speaker?
Abdul sir, in the chat, they say for good communication, need good facial expression.
Yes.
Should I add an line to it?
Yeah, please.
See, for a good communication, it has to be like interactive. So when it is interactive, if I'm talking something and the other person is not even nodding at what I'm telling, so
అందరూ
that
సెషన్ అయ్యాక తాగుతారు.
sorry,
నువ్వు తాగావా? నువ్వు తాగు.
Yes, ma'am.
so here if the other person is not even showing his body language that yes, I'm interested in this conversation, then the communication falls flat, right? I'm not even giving my body language to listen. Jo bolna hai bol. I gave a damn to it, right? So it is not but what he said, good good smile or something he said, no?
Good face expression.
Good face expression is giving your
Is a smile.
concerned and expressing it in a way that yes, you are listening to that person is equally very important. That's where the sender receiver ka connect becomes stronger.
So we have a question here. How to measure effective communication?
I gave my first statement was like, I say you go to hell, but then you take it as an instruction in terms of yes, go to hell, but in a right note, where you take the instructions in a way that whatever instructions has been given, it has been taken in the right spirit, then the communication becomes effective.
Okay, Abdul sir, we are dot on time, 11:29. Abdul sir, what do you want to?
Yeah, no more questions? Okay, ma'am, we'll wind up this session. We'll again rejoin on at 4:30 p.m.
Sure. Thank you very much for the patient listening, and I hope we are able to communicate what we wanted to.
I have a small question, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
How to be happy man with teams?
Very important question and very good question that you have asked. I'm happy that you have asked this question. To be happy with the team is to believe the team. If you believe the team, if you trust the team, if you stand by the team, you will be happy with the team. It all starts with your trust.
Thank you.
And if you are trusting, everything goes in place. And a good trust will help you make a great team.
Trust trust and belief builds great teams. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Reena ma'am,
Yes.
answering to that question, how to be happy with teams. If I'm not happy with myself, I can never be happy with anybody. Is it true, this statement?
I agree with you.
If I'm not happy with myself, then I think so. The root is to be, as you said, trust, self.
And
Happy.
like I've mentioned it during the talk, it is very important to be self-aware and be on self-control also.
Self-aware. Okay.
Just to add on, I mean, I am aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware of having control on myself. If I'm having those two, and if I am also showing empathy towards other and showing a collaborative work spirit, then you can that all mixed together can be a good combination of team. And this I've studied somewhere. Mr. Daniel Goldman, he said that these are the different ingredients of an emotional intelligence. If you are emotionally intelligent to handle different situations, one and foremost is being aware of your own self, and are you able to influence others. So being aware of yourself is being self-aware and having a self-control on yourself. And if you have all these two components on yourself, then you can show empathy towards other, and also receive your empathy, and can have a collaborative work culture, which is very important as a part of the influential skills. When I was talking to you on the communication, I also mentioned a little bit on the influential skills, because it is not just we communicate, but we try and influence on different work situations that we come across. So that's what to add to what you're saying, that if you are happy with yourself, then you can be happy with others. If I'm not happy with myself, then it is very difficult to be happy. And to be happy, it is very important to be aware your own self on what is happening to you. How do you control your own state of mind? How do you control yourself? And if that is under control, then other things will fall in place.
Okay, Abdul sir.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll end the meeting now. We'll again rejoin at 4:30. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thanks for patient listening.
Thank you, Abdul
Thanks.
sir.
Thanks, Abdul sir, and thanks, Sam.
Thank you, ma'am. See you
Thank
at
you.
4:25.
Yeah, done. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abdul sir will take a group photo with ma'am with everyone in the evening.
Sure, sir. Sure.
In the evening, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Can I stop recording?
Please.
Okay, thank you, sir.